Bucs would win the division if they beat Detroit. They'd be the 2 seed. Without getting into everything, the Bucs could be 2, 3, or 4. Minnesota could be 2, 4, or 5. The Redskins could be 3 or get a bye at 2. Detroit right now is 5. They could fall to 6. Or if they beat Minnesota, they could move to 4 and host the Vikings next week. That, of course, leaves the 4, 7, and 8 team for the last spot. We've listed them in order of the possibilities to get in, starting with Dallas. They beat the Giants, they're in. If they lose, it goes to net conference points. The Packers stand the best of the 3 remaining teams. These 3 teams could only be the 6th seed. Dallas could be a 5 seed. I know that's a lot, but we think you got it. And if not, that's why they have NFL primetime. But in Big D, the Cowboys just need to remember they win their late kickoff, they're in. Let's start with our tour with Ed Werder. Ed?
Chris, with a playoff berth at stake, what we have here, 2 very inconsistent
Tampa Bay is on the verge of some franchise pinnacles. That's if they can get their cold weather record out of the deep freeze and beat the Bears. Or has January in Chicago gone soft?
15 inches on the ground. Today, we expect record temperatures. Could be all the way up to 59 degrees. Now, if the Tampa Bay Bucs win or tie today, it'll be their first NFC Central Division title since 1981. But more important to Coach Tony Dungy, the first-round playoff bye his team can earn. NFC teams with first-round byes have gone 17-1 in the divisional playoffs. Now, for the Bears, Pro Bowl alternate wide receiver Marcus Robinson and quarterback Cade McNown missed some practice this week. They will both start today. Now, let's go to Green Bay and check on the frozen
capabilities. They have also put the Bucs in position to reach heights not seen on Florida's West Coast since 1981.
Here we are. We've got division title, first-round bye. You know, all that is at stake. Whereas in the past, there hadn't been too much to play for in late December and January.
I was there. You know, I'm from St. Petersburg, so I've been a Bucs fan for 15, 16 years. And, you know, I was there when they didn't win. So I understand what it'll mean in the community for us to win the division title.
When I came here 7 years ago, it was just like, you know, division title was just way out of the anybody's mindset or anybody's thinking. Now it's about to be a reality.
Tampa Bay can make it reality without any help. Nickerson put it best, saying, if we win, we don't have to scurry around on the team plane seeing what other teams did. Dungy said the division title would be a feather in the organization's cap, but Tommy, he said that for the players, the biggest motivator would be the week off they get with a win.
Well, Scott, everybody wants that rest. And when you look at the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, what you see from Tony Dungy is a solid game plan, a blueprint, if you will. Want to run the ball for 150 yards. They want to get the takeaways via their defense. The first part of the season, they only had 6 takeaways. The first 7 games, they were under 500. The last 8 games, they had 23 takeaways. They're 7-1. But you have to point to the quarterback position, and certainly what you see is Sean King, Sterling, 3 of his 4 starts, less than 150 yards passing. And how far can you go with that is the question.
I got a bigger question. How can 3 different guys for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers play the quarterback position? Sean King, Eric Zier, Trent Dilfer. All these guys look differently, but they play exactly the same. It's very confusing to me because you think one would be a scrambler, one would have a strong arm, one would be a control passer. They all look exactly alike, which means maybe Trent Dilfer hit the nail on the head when he said that the coaching staff was holding him back. More importantly, this is the only team that's played 3 different quarterbacks, Jim, that you can go into a game with the identical game plan for all 3 and be successful.
Well, you'd love to get into that game plan.
Unbelievable.
Well, I spoke to John Lynch and talking about game planning. He said this is one thing that they did last week, game planning for Brett Favre's weapon, Antonio Freeman. We wanted to take him out of the game plan. We took him out to a certain point, but he had 5 catches for 72 yards. This week, we have to do a better job. Cade McNown's main weapon, Marcus Robinson. No matter what the situation is, whether he's scrambling or on a key third down play, he looks for them. Certain comfort zone, boom, that Cade McNown has with Robinson. That's what quarterbacks need.
Back to Tampa, the thing that got them the win against Green Bay in the second, they finished off the drives. They're not going to have that many drives in the red zone. Finish them off, which Allstott did personally. And Tony Dungy pointed to his team this week in the 90s. Teams with byes in the NFC, that opening game that they play, 17-1. Be a good idea if we got...
1981 with a win. They also secure a bye in the first round of the playoffs. Ooh, the Bucs have been hard to stop. They've won 7 of their last 8. Today, they visit the Chicago Bears here at Soldier Field. Hello, everybody. I'm Ray Bentley, along with my partner, Ron Pitts. And Ron, 2 weeks ago, the Bucs got crushed 45-0 at the hands of Oakland. impressively, they came back. They beat Green Bay last week, and I am very impressed with their defense.
Yeah, this defense is impressive, and they got after Chicago the last time they played. They do it with speed, they do it with intensity, and they've got playmakers out there, and they all play well. Everybody knows where they fit in the scheme. But a playoff team has to do one thing, and that's be able to take their defense and use that to set the tempo. They have to dominate early, set the tempo today for their offense.
Chicago Bears 6-9, nothing left to play for other than pride, but they've got a lot of pride.
Yeah, they're a little bit better than their record shows, and you look at Cade McNown, he's going to be a better player than he was the last time that they played him. The whole key is getting on this team early, and you look at Chicago, they don't have anything to play for, but by the same token, they don't have anything to lose. Look for a big bag of tricks. They'll try anything. That's why it's important for Tampa Bay to jump out early.
Well, it's been a long time coming for the Buccaneers. 1981 is the last time they won a Central Division title. Well, with a win today, they'll bring another title back to Tampa Bay. Kickoff coming up next. Soldier Field in Chicago right now. We head to the sidelines. Dan Jiggets is with Coach Tony Dungy. Dan?
All right, thanks a lot, Ray. And Tony, today a very important day for you guys. First of all, above and beyond the obvious, why is it important that you get a win today?
Well, we have a chance to win our first division title since '81. I think that's very important to our guys, so that's the big thing.
How do you plan about going about doing that?
Well, we've got to play to our strength, run the ball and play defense, and hopefully that'll carry us through.
And the weather cooperated for you.
It did. We brought some Tampa weather with us today.
All right, thanks a lot, Tony. Good luck.
Dan.
Ray?
Thank you, Dan. And
let's go win a championship right now! Let's go, baby! Grab that 2 and jump! Ready!
there's the huddle, and the return team is ready as Tampa Bay has won the toss, and they elected to receive today. And they talked about the weather. 54 degrees here. So we'll have some wind problems. Could gust up to about 26 miles an hour or so, but 54 degrees, you couldn't ask for more if you're from Tampa Bay.
Well, Tony Dungy was never big on the Y2K thing anyways, and I think this is part of his wish come true for that. You get this great kind of weather, and he already talked about running the football. Everybody knows that's what they're going to come out doing, and Chicago knows that's what they have to stop. You're going to see a heavy dose of Mike Allstott.
Jared Holmes, who is the only kicker left on the Bears roster. They let go of Chris Boniel this week. He hits it short, bounces, and Wart Dunn takes it. And Dunn hit at the 29 by Frankie Smith. An 11-yard return. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers offense will start from the 25, actually. They're ranked 28th in the league. Sean King, 3-0 at home, 0-1 on the road. Gruber, Doggins, Mayberry, Middleton, and Wunsch, the line up front. Wart Dunn and Mike Allstott. Because Green, Bert Emanuel are the wide receivers. Dave Moore checks in at tight end. The Bucs start in the I formation. Dave Moore goes in motion, resets on the other side. King to throw it outside, and it is complete to Green. Gain of 4. Jerry Azuma comes up with the immediate hit. And let's take a look at the Chicago Bears defensive unit. Ranked 30th in the NFL. Up front, Van Tuene, Mike Wells, Jim Flanagan, and Brian Robinson, who played very well last week. Mark Holdman, the rookie. Barry Minter and Ricardo McDonald, veteran linebackers. Cousin and Azuma are the corners. Chris Hudson and Tony Parrish are the safeties. Wart Dunn splits outside as Allstott's alone in the backfield on 2nd and 6. Mike Allstott's first carry runs into Brian Robinson. He'll get a couple, maybe.
You see the Bears bringing in that 8-man front. Tony Parrish came down from the safety position. They know, even though the weather is good, they know that the Bucs are going to give them a big shot of Mike Allstott. They're going to test them. They're going to see how they're holding up right down the middle of the field. And if they're holding up okay, then they'll go elsewhere. And if they're not, they're going to see that all day long. But it starts there.
Duckes Green to the top of the screen. Bert Emanuel to the bottom on 3rd and 4. King with time throws it outside. Complete to Green. First down, Buccaneers. Gain of 9 on the play. Terry Cousin made the tackle.
And along with Allstott getting his today, the next guy that's going to have a good game is the quarterback. You're talking about Sean King. Now, Sean King, you know, he's had troubles on the road. Went out to Oakland in that disastrous game, didn't play well. And, yeah, people say he kept his poise and confidence and all that, but I think he's got to prove to himself and everyone else that he can take the team on the road and play well on the road.
From the eye, work done. Collared at the line of scrimmage by Mike Wells.
And Mike Wells, remember, he talked a lot of trash the last time these two teams hooked up. They said that Allstott really, they thought that if they get some shots on him early, he might quit based on how he played in college. These two guys hooked up in college. So, you know, there's no love lost there. And if they're going to have success running, they've got to get this combination of Wells and Flanagan block because they play tough down inside. They play just as tough as Culpepper and Sapp do on the other side.
Allstott from Purdue, Wells from Iowa. They used to battle in the Big Ten. Second and a Big Ten for the Bucks. Work done. Squirts through. Flanagan gets him down, but Dunn will get 6 yards.
Bears taking a chance on a run blitz here, and that's why you have to have Warwick Dunn involved in the plan all the time because he's got that make-you-miss in him. Look at the blitz coming there from Minter, and he just scoots him to the, he's got a little of that scoot in him that it can get you off balance, and he creates things when things aren't there. There's a time to pound with Mike Allstott, but then there's definitely a time to let Warwick Dunn get his, and you have to know that time. The Bucs offensive staff has to be key and know when to do that.
King goes to the shotgun on 3rd down and 5. The sun comes out. King flush, dumps it underneath. Allstott hit immediately by Barry Minter, short of that first down.
Chalk that one up to the coverage down the field. No place for Sean King to throw at the football. And he does the smart thing. He doesn't try to force it. He pulls it down, goes to the check down, and you get off the field and live another day.
So Mark Royals will come on to punt. He's 3rd in gross punting in the NFC. Glenn Milburn, who Coach Tony Dungy was very worried about, back to receive this punt. Line drive kick, returnable ball. Milburn from his 17.
He's got some room.
Cut back all the way up to the 35-yard line is where the Bears will put it in action. Morris Unitoa makes the special teams tackle. There is a flag back at the original line of scrimmage. The 17-yard return,
and that's going to
by
push,
Milburn.
That's going to be on Tampa Bay. It's going to push him back.
Well, I don't know.
I think they'll probably refuse it depending on the return.
Right.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
you might want to
give another shot, right?
They refused it.
Prior to the kick, holding, number 50, offense. Penalties declined. First down.
Ron Winter, our referee, tells you the penalties on Jeff Gooch. Play stands. Bears ball. We'll be back in a moment. For the Bears, and rookie Cade McNown making his 6th start. Get ready for the center. James Allen in the backfield. Curtis Enos put on IR this week, and Allen carried. He's hit by Brooks and knocked backwards.
Hello.
Brooks lit him up. Let's look at that Bears offense, ranked 7th in the NFL, 2nd in passing, which is amazing. They've had 8 quarterback changes this year, guys shuffling in and out. Brockermeyer, Perry, Croots, Valario, and Big Cat Williams. Offensive line up front. Allen making the start, as I said, for Enos. Halleck at fullback. Ingram and Robinson are the wide receivers, and Alonzo Mays starts at tight end. Late snap from Croots, and there will be movement on the Bears.
Well, that was ugly. Bears coming out in an empty backfield. Going to the spread formation.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense.
Olin
number
Croots
78.
had a Y2K blitz. He didn't get that snap off in
Second
time.
down.
First one we've seen, I think.
Yeah, well, he's compatible now. You saw the Bears there. They started off in a tight formation with the tight ends, and now they went to a spread.
See how late the snap was.
First glitch of the new year.
Well, it cost
Gotta
them
have it
4.
sometime.
2nd and 14. McNown goes back to that shotgun. Gets the snap cleanly underneath and complete, looking for Robinson. Tampa Bay's defense ranks second in the NFL, second against the pass. Creates a nice matchup. White, Sapp, Culpepper, and Ahanotu up front. A couple of Pro Bowl linebackers in Brooks and Nickerson, and Shelton Quarles strong side. Ronde Barber and Donnie Abraham are the corners. Damian Robinson, the free safety, had a huge game last week. And John Lynch, his second Pro Bowl, first time starting in the Pro Bowl for Lynch, an outstanding safety. 3rd and 14. Here comes the screen. Allen with blockers in front. Just shy of the first down. He was gained 13 on the play before he got tracked down by Steve White.
That's a nice call, and that's the one play that the Bucs knew they were going to have to stop coming into this game. Watch that. Now, he usually gets rushes like this anyway, but in this situation, it's a screen. They're inviting him in to give themselves room on the outside, and then they just do a good job of chasing it down from the backside. Shane White, and that's what you have to stop that play. You have to have great pursuit from your defensive lineman to chase it down from the inside going out.
Good play by Steve White. Sauerbrunn on for his first punt. It's a line shot to Carl Williams, and the Truth lets it roll into the end zone. A 56-yard punt, a missile from Sauerbrunn, and the Bucs will have their second possession beginning at their own 20-yard line. Left here in the first quarter, no score. Tampa Bay's ball, 1st and 10 on their own 20-yard line. Jaquez Green in motion. They fake the reverse as Warwick Dunn takes it up to the 23, runs into Parrish and Robinson.
Tony Dungy talked in the beginning of the game about the importance of the win and the first title in a long time for the club and all that. But the one thing he harped on yesterday was that you get a win here, you also get a bye in the first round.
Right.
And that's something he said I've never had. And it's key because not only do you get people rested up, but you get everybody's mental state of mind together. And it gives you a chance a week to sit back and say, hey, this is what we got to do. Let's get ready to do it.
19 years of coaching, and Dungy has never been in a position to get the bye. This is complete for a first down to Green, a gain of 8 on the play as Jerry Azuma comes up with the coverage. But Tony Dungy said he had it as a player in Pittsburgh one time where they got the bye and they went on to win the Super Bowl.
Right, that bye is very, very big. And then you look at the numbers there, staying at home too. And that's something they're going to be at home for the first one. That's key. And they learned a few years ago having to go up to Green Bay. You got to go away. It's just a harder road.
It's a tough road to go that road where you play all 3 weeks in the playoffs before reaching the Super Bowl. All stop. Hammers the middle of the line. He'll get a couple. Tony Parrish in there along with Mike Wells.
If they're going to have any success down there, a good matchup today is going to be Mike Wells working on Middleton and Mayberry. Now, there's Wells there. You know, he does a good job of leverage off the ball, using his hands and fighting through things. They're going to think about putting a double team on him later on if they find out that Mayberry can't handle him alone, because if they can't get him handled, it'll make more things for Flanagan, which in turn will make things harder on running the football inside the field.
Empty backfield as Mike Allstott is out wide to the right. This is dumped underneath to Green, and Green close to the first down to be a couple yards short. Rico McDonald makes the tackle.
Sean King had to gather that snap in at first. Sean King does a good job of knowing where he's got to go with the football on rhythm. And whenever he gets in trouble, it's because he holds it. But you don't see him do that very much lately. He's just letting that ball go, and I think that's better for him. You know, you see something open in this league, he's open now, you got to get him the ball. You can't wait like maybe you would wait in college.
3rd down and 1. They toss it outside to Dunn. Short. Barry Minter with the defense.
And this is what we're talking about and what we talked about in the open. You don't want to wait around, mess around too long with a team like the Bears. They're going to pull out all stops. You can see the defense flying around, foot loose, free. They're going to take some chances. They're going to blitz you in certain places. They don't have anything to lose. You have to work extra hard against teams like this.
Then Melbourne brought that first punt back 17 yards. He stands at his own 17.
The Bucs better increase their coverage on this one. It looked like he was close to breaking that.
Another returnable ball. Milburn from his 11. Gets outside, forced out of bounds at the 20-yard line. Special teams play by Shelton Quarles. We have no score here in Chicago.
Honey, I know it's your
Great over Chicago, including a 6-3 win earlier this year. However, the Bucs have lost 8 of their last 9 against the Bears here at Soldier Field. We are 0-0 with 5:29 left here to play in the first quarter. Cade McNown, second possession, starting at his 21, 1st and 10. James Allen hit by White immediately. Steve White has made an impact so far. And the game is real young, but he already chased down a screen. Now he blows in on a run play and blows up James Allen. White's kind of one of the unheralded defensive linemen. And his team, drafted originally as a linebacker by the Philadelphia Eagles, came to Tampa Bay and they made him a down lineman. Second down and 11. McNown dumps it off to Robinson on the screen. No gain on the play, and right now let's find out what's happening with Minnesota and Detroit. Here's JB.
All right, Ray and Ron, take a look at Jeff George here. Play action, play goes up top. Who to Randy Moss, 53-yard pass play that set up a Robert Smith touchdown. Minnesota still in the hunt for the Central title. They're up by 7. Back to Ray and Ron.
Thank you, JB. Now, of course, if Tampa Bay were to lose today and Minnesota win, then Minnesota would win that Central title, and they would get the bye in that first round, and that's what Tampa Bay is fighting for today. McNown over to the middle, incomplete. Robinson dropped what would have been another interception. He had 2 last week.
If the Bucs or the Tampa Bay, if Chicago's going to have any success, they need to make big plays. And this kind of stuff here is not going to cut it for him. That's clearly over the head of Robinson. And McNown, he's been injured. He's had that strained right side. He did that last week. And Marcus Robinson has a quad foot. Those are the kind of tempo-setting series that the Bucs defense has to continue to have.
Another missile from Sauerbrunn. Puts Williams all the way back to his 25. He'll get it up to the 38-yard line. That's where the Buccaneers will take over. We'll be back in just a moment. Chicago, 54 degrees at game time. No score yet here in the first quarter. The Buccaneers, their 3rd possession goes from the 38. Allstott and McLeod in the I formation. King drops the snap. Throws it outside and throws it away. Hit John Allred on the bench.
The Bears bench was incomplete.
First down is going to be huge for Tampa Bay today. They have to be able to put themselves in 2nd, 3rd short situations. Now there, I don't think he didn't just get the snap. It's something that looked like maybe might pulled out there a little bit early.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It
just bounced off his hands. 2nd and 10. They run the power O toward Dunn. And Dunn stopped after a gain of 2 by Tony Parrish.
Bears defense comes into this game knowing they got to stop 3 things. The power O, the weak side toss with Dunn, and then the trap play. I mean, you can get those 3 things stopped early, and the Bears have been able to do that. Now you force the game where they really want it, and that's in the hands of the rookie quarterback. Even though he's played fairly well, very well, and he's won, you still want to make him beat you in a game like this.
Work done, much more effective as a receiver of late. 3rd down and 8. Dunn and Allstott in the backfield as the Bears blitz. King with time now dumps it incomplete.
Once again, the coverage down the field, and that time they took away the check down to Allstott. Clyde Simmons was hanging around there. Look at the coverage over here on the left side of the formation. You got nothing there. Good coverage on the outside there. Cousins, he's got no place to go with the football.
And as you said, it was Clyde Simmons dropping off from that right end spot.
A little zone drop.
Glenn Milburn needs 12 yards on this return to pass 2,000 for the season on total yards, and he won't get it. stopped at the 23-yard line. That's where the Bears will take over. Fred McAfee makes the special teams play. And the NFC Wild Card playoff game right here on Fox. You'll have to check your local listings. A lot of games going on today that still mean something. We'll find out who's going to have to take the long road to the Super Bowl, that being the Wild Card road. Coverage begins with the pregame show next week here on Fox. On first down, McNown out of the shotgun. Dumps it over the middle to Wet Knight, his tight end, who makes it up to the 30-yard line. For Rondy Barber makes the tackle.
The Bucks finally got their 5 defensive back personnel grouping on the field. Last couple series, the Bears have been moving them around, screwing around with that. I think they were giving them a little bit of a problem. Nice play there by the tight end. They need to get their tight end involved here, and that's something for next year. This team is going to have to look for somebody vertical that can go up the field and break the defense.
On 2nd and 8, play action. McNown throws it outside to Booker. Booker with a first down and more. Thrown out of bounds at the 38 by Robinson.
You see McNown now starting to get into a little bit of a rhythm there. You know, his problem earlier is he's been waiting for things to become more open. And that's the problem rookie quarterbacks have. You know, in college, guys can become more open than they were as the play develops. In this business, it doesn't happen. If a guy's open now, you got to shoot him the football.
We saw McNown 2 weeks ago in that Detroit game here. Had a slow first quarter and then lit it up.
Rolling.
Allen hops sideways and gets 4 yards on the plunge up the middle. Again, Barber on the tackle.
The Bears are going to have any success today. They got to take care of Warren Sapp. Now he's working down here, and they got a little double team. Now you see the way Perry didn't actually double team him, but he put that hand on him. That's just a check. That helps out the guy next to him as you look at Culpepper going off.
He's had a bad heel.
He's had a bad heel.
Been having to take a little medicine on that heel for the last 5 weeks.
Little needle medicine.
Went without it last week, had to get it at halftime. So Anthony McFarland checks in for Culpepper, and McNown has to get rid of it before he wants to as Barber comes on a corner blitz.
Nice pressure there by Barber. But I was getting back to that point with Warren Sapp. You don't necessarily always use a pure double. It's just a hand that can help out enough to keep him out of your backfield. They're always conscious of where he's at. And this will be interesting to see what happens down in the defensive line now with Culpepper out. Like I said, Warren Sapp creates a lot for Culpepper, and that guy there, McFarland, he's going to have to take up the slack.
Number 1 draft pick out of LSU for the Buccaneers. 3rd down and 6. McNown going for Robinson. Underthrown, caught, no, he's out of bounds.
I think he's out.
Seen Marcus Robinson make that play all year long.
I don't think that they were trying to throw the stop fade because Robinson could probably take him up the field. That ball's just a little bit too outside. You see, that's the thing that Robinson does well, and he's playing with a hurt quad. He adjusts to the ball great in the air, and he's got that ability to just snatch it out of the air. Bottom line is the Bucks once again thwart the efforts of the Bears offense to get off the field.
Good punt from Sauerbrunn. Carl Williams from his 10. Takes 1 tackle up to the 20-yard line. A 10-yard return. Frankie Smith makes the play. A 47-yard punt. Well, get ready for the Greed Fest. 3 nights of TV's richest when they give away those millions.
Key there is give it away.
First quarter winding down. Minute 14 left. No score yet in the ball game. In fact, not much offense at all. Work done. Hit in the backfield by Ricardo McDonald.
You know, as this run game gets stymied, sooner or later, the game's going to go more in the hands of Sean King, and they're going to have to force the ball down the field. Now, they're not panicking right now, and that's a sign of a veteran coaching staff. You know, they're holding their cards, they're taking what the defense gives them, and then they're just punting the football, as you can see there. They're not going to rush the game in Sean King's hands, and that's smart. This is a big game. The last thing you want to do is have key turnovers early and put yourself in a hole with a rookie quarterback.
I wouldn't mind putting in King's hands with the results that he's had. Warwick Dunn breaking tackles. Warwick Dunn gets the first down up to the 33. Chris Hudson finally got him.
Now those are the hands that you want to put the game in right there. You know, they lessened his role around midseason and they got more to Allstott and all that, but you're fooling yourself if you don't prepare for Warwick Dunn as much as you prepare for Mike Allstott.
That'll be the final play of the first quarter here in Chicago. Soldier Field, a beautiful day to score. Tampa Bay nothing, Chicago nothing. We'll be back for the start of the second quarter after a word from your local Fox station. Minutes here at Chicago. You see the first quarter statistics. Only thing stands out, time of possession for the Buccaneers. Haven't been able to do anything with it, has either offense. King to Green. Biggest play of the day for Tampa Bay, all the way into Bears territory for the first time, down to the 44.
Here's an example of what I'm talking about, pushing that ball up the field. First and 10, take your shot. Nice separation there by Jaquez Green. Just a simple in route, but the key is he gets separation right in here. That's where he's going to end up. But look at this throw by King. I mean, that's a bullet. He's got to get that right over somebody's hand coming up. That's a nice shot. I'm impressed with King's accuracy. People talk about his poise and confidence and all that. I think he's a lot better thrower than people give him credit for.
Jaquez Green right now with 5 grabs and 50 yards. Sean King looking for it all down the field, overshoots. Green incomplete, and right now let's find out what's happening in Minnesota. Here's JB.
Well, you'll take a look at Detroit evening it up. Take a look at Backus' pass off the hands of Herman Moore right to Johnny Morton, just like they drew it up. Ron Pitts is now knotted at 7. Back to Ray and Ron.
Thank you, JB, and keep a close eye on that Minnesota-Detroit game as Tampa Bay, they lose here today. Minnesota has a chance for the win. In fact, they would win the Central Division if they beat Detroit today. Critical games in the NFC Central. Second down and 10, Allstott runs into Minter, pushes the pile for a couple yards. To note here that Brad Culpepper has a sprained right foot, return in doubt.
Look how loose these guys are. Look at Mike Wells there, just walking along laughing. Nice play there by Minter. Minter a couple weeks ago talked to us about taking on Allstott and how he's a load, and you know how you make sure that you get ready to spend extra time in the whirlpool the day after.
That's what Ricardo McDonald was talking about as well. He said, hey, I spent 2 hours in the whirlpool after the last time we played these guys. It's a big whirlpool battle.
It's a big third down battle here.
King with time, throws it outside to Allstott. Terry Cousin there with a good tackle in open field. Bucks will have to punt.
Bears bring the pressure, but the pressure doesn't even get there. I'm not sure don't know why King didn't look down the field. Here comes the A-gap pressure, and they pick it up. Warwick done a nice job. But the check down over here, I'd throw that one. I mean, you're going to throw the ball to Allstott. He's well beyond or below the first down marker. You're going to make that throw, make that shot above the first down marker.
Royals tries to coop this, does so, and gets a nice bounce, and we'll see where the official stops, and there he is at the 7-yard line, a 32-yard punt, backs up the Bears, no score yet here in Chicago. Excellent punt by Mark Royals pins the Bears back at their own 7-yard line, where they start this drive. No score yet here in Chicago. McNown looking to dump the football. Now he'll have to scramble. And he is hit from behind by Anthony McFarland.
I don't know why McNown didn't throw his first read. Now he looked to his right. You see Donnie Abraham breaking up on it. But like I said before, you hold the ball in this business, and there's Ingram. You hold the ball in this business, and most of the time you're going to eat it.
I don't know why he didn't dump it to Allen at that point, but it's second down and 8. Now he gives it to James Allen, and Allen with a crease all the way out to the 22-yard line, and finally we see some life from that Bears offense.
James Allen is a guy stepping in, and I talked to some of the coaches this morning. I said, what will Allen give you that Enos didn't? Make you miss, they all said. And he's got the quick feet, and he's got a little of that shake that can make you miss right there. You see he tried to throw some there on Damian, but the bottom line is they need a guy that can give them something more positive in terms of yardage per carry in the run game than they had from Enos. And even though Enos has been hurt, they're looking for that.
On 1st and 10, Allen again. John Lynch finally gets him down. Gain of 8 on the play.
And then also, Allen has more speed. Now, he may not have the same kind of top end as some of the great ones out there like Marshall Faulk and those guys, but right there, you see that quick acceleration through the hole? That's what you need. And now the Tampa Bay is going to have to think about bringing John Lynch down in that 8-man. And when you do that, you force single coverage and you make yourself vulnerable on the outside for the pass.
Bootleg.
There's a tight end.
McNown misses Ingram.
Now there is a case for a rookie quarterback not seeing everything on the field. Had it set up perfectly. The tight end right here. Allred's going to drag across the field. Throw it right now. He's open. Look at the linebacker hasn't even found him yet, but he tries to force it to the wrong side of the field. Those are little things that tell you when you're in tune, when you're in key, and how to set up an offense and when you got a defense on their heel.
3rd and 2. And this is where the Bears will miss Curtis Enos because he had run 12 out of 13 first downs on 3rd and short, but Lynch comes up and stops Allen.
Right, plus they put themselves in a bad position the play before by not getting the yardage on. Then you get Lynch. And we said sooner or later John Lynch is going to be involved in it. John Lynch is like the hitman. You know, he's the sniper. If you've been running the football and you've been hurting him, they're going to send him after you. And this guy,
contract
one
out
shot,
on you.
it's one shot, one kill.
Good punt from Sauerbrunn. Puts Carl Williams back to his 21.
Nice
flags out as Williams squirms his way up to the 29. A 49-yard punt, 9-yard return. Ray Austin made the tackle. We'll see what Ron Winter says about the flag. Haven't seen a lot of intensity coming from Tampa Bay yet on their offensive football team. You think with what they have at stake here, you'd see a little more coming out of them, a little more fire. It seems like they're kind of just treading softly at this point.
I think it's that, and I think a little bit, if they might be a little tight. You know, this is a big chance to do a lot of things going into the playoffs.
Holding. 25 of the return team. A 10-yard penalty. First down.
So Brian Kelly gets caught holding. It'll back the Bucs up. And they'll try to get something going on offense when we come back. First and 10. Buccaneers with the ball at their own 11. All stop. Shakes his way up to the 15, 16-yard line. Barry Minter makes the tackle.
And Allstott is about a step away from breaking that one a long distance. One thing that Allstott does well for a guy that's over 250 pounds is he can adjust with one step. You know, yeah, right there. He can change and hop from one foot to the next and then get some acceleration off that. Usually big guys can't get started back up fast enough after they make those cuts. He can.
They mark the ball at the 14, so it's 2nd down and 7, Tampa Bay. King throws it out quick. It's complete to Jaquez Green. 6th catch of the day for Green, another first down.
As long as Jaquez Green has off coverage from the cornerback on the other side there, Azuma, they need to throw this all day long. Look at that distance here. What would you do? I mean, he doesn't even have to run down 2 yards, 3 yards. He's got 5, 7 yards before anybody can touch him.
First and 10. King changes the play to a run, and Warwick Dunn starts the cutback and then squirms up into the hole for 3 yards. Warwick Holman makes the tackle. A lot of playoff important games going on this weekend. One for the battle for the home field in the AFC. Jacksonville and Indianapolis tied coming into this one. And because of that, if they both win or if they both lose, then the Colts must win by 15 more points than the Jaguars. That's the conference net point differential. It's the tiebreaker that it goes down to.
And Buffalo really has nothing to gain or lose with a win or loss.
Well, with Buffalo up 14-3, and throw them points out the window as Allstott comes close to the first down. Barry Minter again with the stop.
So far this game, the defense has kept both offenses going. And you definitely see that for Tampa Bay. And I think if the Bears are going to do anything, it's going to come off of turnovers where they get good field position or just flat out big plays, because even though the Bucs defense gives up stuff, they shut it down sooner or later.
Yeah, both coaches worried about big plays when we talked to them this week. We haven't seen any big plays yet. 3rd down and 1. King tries to sneak, but his feet didn't ever move. I mean, you need to be careful with that ball, but when you run a sneak, you got to move your feet. He just kind of leaned over the pile.
That was really a lackluster effort of trying to get the first down. I mean, if you're going to sneak for the first down, you got to take the ball, get low, and drive as hard as you can. Watch his feet.
1 step, 2 step, and lean. I mean, he got
We need to send Sean to quarterback sneak 101.
Yeah, you think quarterback sneak's an easy thing to do, but I've never seen it more poorly executed. The Royals comes on and hammers this punt. Milburn's not even going to get it. Now it'll stop. No, it goes into the end zone. Wow.
Royals almost got a
Royals
huge punt.
Almost backed that thing up. Ends up to be a 65-yard punt for Mark Royals, his longest of the season. And the Bears will have it at the 20-yard line. Big Cat Williams out. They're looking at his left knee, his sprained knee. That means Jerry Wisney will take over for him. And you saw the graphic down there. 7 first downs in the game, 9 punts. And it's out to Marty Booker.
Great play on the screen. And the way they stopped that screen, you have to be able to penetrate, and you got to be able to get pursuit to it, and that's exactly what Rondé Barber did. He took a shot, he recognized it, which is the first part of it, right there. Now see, he sees the receiver step back. He knows what it is immediately, and then he goes and makes the play. But look at all the white shirts running to the ball. It's another thing this defense does great. They have great speed, and they all fly around the ball.
On 2nd down and 10, McNown goes from the shotgun. Pocket breaks down. He'll scramble, and now he dumped it. It's intercepted. Donnie Abraham. Abraham. Touchdown Bucs.
And they got a flag down. We talked about this being a defensive battle so far. And if this holds up, boy, the way
John Lynch looked,
they didn't look too happy about
Tampa.
it.
A block below the waist on the return. So Tampa Bay will get the ball, just not the score. Ball was intended for Bobby Ingram.
A low block, number 20 of the return team. 15 yards, first down.
Rondé Barber commits the penalty, but the Bucs will have the ball on their own 29.
First of all, McNown tucks the ball too soon. You tuck the ball right now, you're telling everybody, hey, I'm running. Then he tries to pull it up and make the throw. No way.
Bad throw.
No way, because he's got to take it out of a tuck position and then throw it. And Donnie Abraham, and that's just a late Christmas present. And there's the clip by Rondé Barber.
7th interception of the year for Rondé Barber, for Donnie Abraham. Sets the Bucs up on first down, down to the 25.
Now this is where Tampa Bay has to be better. They've had trouble in the red area, in the red zone, like from the 20 going in, 25 going in. The defense has handed them a gift. If you look at Minter down.
He got tangled up with Frank Middleton, and Middleton was down for a minute too.
There was a 4-yard gain.
Middleton got up, but Minter hasn't yet.
The defense has handed the offense a gift here. And the way their production has been, they need to take advantage of this. And these games have been low-scoring games. You remember the last one? All field goal. There's Mentor right there. I think he gets rolled up on.
Well, there's Middleton
by Brian.
there. I don't know.
Brian.
A lot of bodies in there.
A lot of stuff going on down there.
Ella, they're looking at the left knee of Barry Mentor, and you hate to see that.
Well, they've been so good inside. I think Mentor's had a big hand of that, along with the two tackles.
All right, we're going to take a break right now as Barry Mentor seeks attention. Barry Mentor walks or runs off the field after that injury.
I don't get that.
One of them quick healing deals.
He must have took some good herbs.
Well, Sean Harris filled in for him, and Warwick Dunn takes it, and Sean Harris makes that tackle, bringing up a 3rd down and 4.
It's easy to get rolled up by your own guys. There's Mentor's leg, there's knee.
It kind of hyperextends a little.
Yeah, we're no doctors, but we did stay at the Ritz-Carlton last night, so.
Yes, we did, Dr. Pitts, Dr. Bentley.
That's a hyperextension. I've seen it before. That's exactly what it is. Now he laid back down. He ran off but laid back down.
Yeah, well, they were test it out.
Yeah.
Bears defense will be tested out on this 3rd down and 4. Can the Bucks capitalize on the Abraham interception? King throws a slant to Green, complete for the 1st down. Jaquez Green inside the 10 to the 9, a gain of 15. He beat Tony Parrish.
If King's got a money guy, it's Jaquez Green. He's getting open all over the field. Watch the inside move. Boom. And then the nice swat with the hand. That's why they say as a corner, never cross over when you're in bump and run. But the ball is right where it needs to be.
Green just tied a career high, 7 catches. And we're only in the 2nd quarter as Allstott start. Falls forward to the 6 for a couple of yards.
And I think this is one thing you have to be able to do in the red zone is run the football. That's why teams get in a lot of trouble. So I would expect to see some of Allstott. I would expect to see maybe some Dunn down here. But I think in this end of the field, this year, it's been all Mike Allstott.
2nd down and goal to go. Allstott on the draw. Hit by Flanagan inside the 5, down to the 4-yard line.
Bears have done a good job of not letting Allstott get into that second wave of guys. You know, he breaks the first wave, and now he starts to roll. You can see him glancing right where he's going to go there. Cut back to the right side.
Third and goal, Allstott. Spread to the top on the right. Empty backfield for King. King is sacked. Flanagan's there.
Chalk that one up to great coverage by the Bears secondary. That's all it is. They chose not to come after him with the blitz. Instead, they went and they stayed back in zones. They got that good, nice job, a bump and run on the line of scrimmage by Rico McDonald. They didn't let the tight end run off the field. Bert Emanuel, nice job by Cousins. A little grab, that never hurts. But I think King also does a good job of not trying to force the issue. You got points down here, take them.
And Gramatica. 13 in a row now for Martin Gramatica, a 25-yarder. And that puts the Buccaneers on the board. That last sack was made by Brian Robinson to thwart that 3rd down play, but the Bucs come up with points.
Well, really, that last sack there was made possible by Donnie Abraham. Because finally, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got a little jump start, something they needed to help get on the board. We talked about this being a defensive battle. That's the way this game, this matchup has been when these two teams have gotten together. And there's nothing that indicates this will be any different.
Martin Gramatica, they call him Mr. Automatica. And rightly so, as he has hit on over 86% of his field goals this year, setting a Tampa Bay record. Now 26 out of 30 on the season.
You look at the Bears and you have to ask yourself, what do they have to play for? What's the motivation? That's a great shot there. And the motivation, one of the things that Dick Jauron talked about, said we've beaten every team in this division at least once, or except for one team. So this would give us a chance to say we've beaten every team in this division
at least one time. There's Mr. Automatica, 101 points, a club record, surpassing Donald Igwebuike. Knew I'd butcher that one.
Yeah, but you got it out. You got it out. I knew what you meant.
Thank you.
I knew who you meant.
So Gramatica to kick it deep. Glenn Milburn back for the Bears. And it's a line shot kick. Milburn handles it at the 9. And he's tackled at the 18, an 8-yard return. Actually a 12-yard return. Which puts Glenn Milburn over 2,000 yards combined for the season. Just the third Bear to ever do that.
I think that's amazing in itself because Glenn Milburn has absolutely no blocking help at all here in Chicago. I mean, that's one thing that I know they're going to change up a lot in the offseason. Whatever he does, he's gotten on his own.
You may have heard of the other two Bears players who got over 2,000 total yards combined in a season. Some Sayers fella and some Peyton guy.
Yeah, they were. You know, they weren't bad players.
Last play until the 2-minute warning. James Allen forced out of bounds. There is a flag down on the play as Brian Kelly ran Allen out.
Tackled by Kelly. There is a flag of the play.
Tampa Bay's defense is going to have to be the offense today. And I know that last touchdown, intercept for a touchdown, got wiped out. But those are the kind of plays they're going to have to make to keep the offense going.
Holding Bears face mask Bucks.
Face mask. Penalties offset. First down.
And after all that, it is the 2-minute warning. The score here in Chicago, Tampa Bay 3, the Bears nothing. We'll have all the scores and highlights from around the league. And our Fox Sports ticker will have up to the second stats. That's all coming up on the Visa halftime report. 2 minutes left here in the first half. Bears, no score for them yet. Tampa Bay has 3 points as McNown tries to throw that screen, almost intercepted and then dropped by James Allen.
Well, that's one thing for sure. Monty Kiffin, the defensive coordinator, said we're going to take the screen game away. And for the most part, they have taken it away.
And Steve White got in there and almost picked this off.
I don't even think you could call this one a screen. This is like a glass door. It never developed to screen proportion.
Defensive coordinator Monty Kiffin. A nice chat with him yesterday on 2nd and 10. Ball is dropped by Ryan Wetnight.
They will address the tight end issue here next year. Way too many drops. And they don't have a tight end that can run up the field. Nobody that scares you vertically in the offense. And the play is there. And all this does is just take yards away from your offense. It puts you in 3rd and long situations like this one right here.
3rd and 10 from the 20 of Chicago. Bears 0 for their last 5 actually in the ball game. On 3rd down conversion. He's hit and it's intercepted by Steve White. Did he catch it? Yes, Tampa Bay ball.
Marcus Jones comes around the outside and causes the fumble.
I don't know if it's a fumble.
The interception.
Yeah, I don't know what they're going to call it officially, but
now
it's
remember,
Tampa Bay's ball.
Jones is working on that replacement there. That's Wisney. He's subbing in for Big Cat Williams, and he just beats him around the corner.
It's a fumble, and it hit the ground, and White recovered.
If his arm is going forward, no, that's a fumble.
Yeah,
that's a great play, and now great ball awareness. Getting around the football Give your offense a chance. Once again, the offense has been struggling so far this year. Give them a chance to get more points on the board at the worst time for you if you're the defense or the Bears right before the half.
Second turnover for Chicago, and I think the replay booth, which has the prerogative to look at this, at least ask Ron Winter to come over and look at it, and I believe they've done so. This will be under review, but I think the view that we saw clearly a fumble.
I think it's clear. I don't think it's close.
The play is being reviewed.
Here it is.
If McNown's arm is coming forward, then it's considered a pass. But his arm's not coming forward. It's just coming up.
Coming up. That's definitely a fumble. Yeah, this shouldn't take very long for Ron Winter to come up with a ruling if we show him that one there, if he looks at that angle right away.
And Tony Dungy has to wonder, wait a minute. You make the call in the field. I think it's clear.
Yeah, Tony's had some problems with replay. It doesn't like replay anyway.
Yeah, the replay has not been kind to Tony at all. Yeah, it's funny. I was talking to Tony before the game, and he had his young son out there on the field with him, and we were talking about how the season starts out. They repeat two different seasons. They start out 3-4, and there's a lot of pressure, a lot of drama around the complex. Things got better.
Field stands. It is a fumble. First down, Tampa Bay.
There you go. As we suspected, play stands, Bucks ball, 1st and 10 from inside the Bears 15. King hands it to Dunn. Dunn around the corner. Warwick Dunn. He is stuck at the 2 by Chris Hudson.
He got shot out of there like a pinball. He went in there with good intentions.
And Chris Hudson had bad intentions. Still a big play for Tampa Bay.
They loop around. They bring Mayberry around the loop, and it's just a form of a reverse. Now, I honestly believe that Warwick Dunn thinks he can get in there. And the guy he hit wasn't even looking to make the tackle. Watch this. Looks like he hit Hudson. Hudson just kind of gives him the shoulder.
A little flipper.
But the problem is he got help from 4 other black shirts, or dark blue shirts.
Warwick Dunn is not a load. Allstott is, and here he goes.
That's not going to get it.
No gain on the play by Mike Allstott. 3rd down and goal. Actually make that 2nd down and goal now with 50 seconds and counting. Bucks with all 3 timeouts remaining here in the first half. Kevin McLeod at fullback. Mike Allstott at tailback. Allstott. Stopped at the goal line again. Tony Parrish along with Ray Austin.
First off, George Diaz was on the pull. He got out late, and that caused a lot of traffic in there. Watch Diaz. He's going to come around here, but he gets out late. He almost bumps into King. Watch the hit here. Holman, he jumps up in the holder. A nice stick.
Along with Parrish.
Well, you don't get many shots like this on Allstott. But see, he can never get that other foot on the ground. And that's the key to getting to a big man. If you can get him with 1 foot off the ground or get him with those shoulders perpendicular to the line of scrimmage, you got a chance. Watch Allstott. He's got that left foot. See, he doesn't have that left foot planted. But then the Bears get guys around the ball.
So Tampa Bay used their first timeout. They have 2 left, 21 seconds left here in the first half. 3rd and goal from the 1. Here come the Buccaneers. Touchdown, Allstott.
Nice adjustment by Allstott. The play was designed to go inside, the same thing, but he bounced it. He made an adjustment on the fly, and that was the difference because the Bears had the play shut down in the same place they did before. That's what you call just being an athlete on the field, being smart.
Well, I think he tried to stuff it in there a couple times. You know, that's not there. I'm going to wait and see what happens.
Well, especially the same play twice. The exact same play twice.
So the Buccaneers capitalize on 2 Bears turnovers, and Gramatica will attempt the extra point to make it 10-0, and that's exactly what it is. 10-0, Tampa Bay over Chicago with 16 seconds left in the first half.
2 turnovers have made the difference in the game so far, and that's all it's been for this offense. So really, Tampa Bay can't go in with any kind of false sense of security about how well their offense has been producing. He has just 2 guys.
Yeah, and I think that play is designed to go a little bit outside.
Yeah, maybe more so than the other
one. I think they do it on the read. Look at Diaz. He's going to go wider and wider.
Nice block there by McLeod. McLeod gets the block that prevents the Bears from shutting down the contain, from keeping contain on the outside. That was a key block in the play, McLeod.
And Tony Dungy, who is not going to give you a whole lot of emotion, just throws
That's
a chop
about it
out.
right there. He threw the bone up.
Look at the takeaways for Tampa Bay, leading to all the points. And when they went on that winning streak, where they won 6 in a row, that's pretty much how they did that as well. They were a +5 over that 6-game win streak overall. Now on the year, they come in here at -6. So you see how the turnovers tie in to Tampa's wins. Gramatica. A bouncer off of Edgar Bennett. And Bennett takes it up to the 32 with 10 seconds left here in the first half.
Bears look like they got somebody else laid out on the ground. Looks like Frankie Smith again. Boy, Frankie's having a rough game.
Yeah, he was down earlier. I think the wind got knocked out of him. He got hit by about 4 different guys, some of his own guys, and now he's holding that knee.
Maybe they need to just put Frankie on the bus and send him home right now, boys. Yeah, that's part of the fear there you have when you play in the last game and you don't have anything to play for. And that's another reason why Tampa Bay needed points early. You want to let that other team think about how nice it's going to be to get home and be around the family, finally get some good food, and
right.
you know, all those good things. Get their mind as far away from what's going on today as possible.
Well, we used to call that running for the bus.
For the
you
bus,
get them to run for the bus, and you got it going on.
Yeah, the keys are running. I mean, the keys are in the car. Car's running.
Yeah, you know you're.
Box is loaded.
Yeah, you know you're in
packed
trouble
up.
if they show up to the stadium with the U-Haul on that final game.
Oh no, Coach, don't read anything into this. I'm just I had to rent it before Monday. That's all.
Yeah, got a special rate.
Yeah, got a good rate. Get out of town rate.
Well, the Bucs defense, we talked about them right at the top, Ron, and that's really how this team has survived with the defense, the not only in stopping the opponent, but also taking the football away. Here are those turnovers.
Start with the turnovers here. The bad throw by McNown. And if it wasn't for the clip, this is a touchdown by Donnie Abraham. And there's a fumble. The hit, nice hit there.
Well, that's Marcus
On the
Jones
outside
who
there
got
by
the sack and forced the fumble. In fact, he had a sack last week against Favre, did Jones. Look at the last 2 weeks. 30 points off of opponents' turnovers. Tampa Bay defense. And that's what, to me, makes them a scary team in the playoffs. Because of their defense and the plays they can make. Their first NFC Central Division title since 1981. They've got a 10 and
much running the football. And I think they should be happy that they have the 10 points on the board. And the Bears should be happy that it's not more than 10 points on the board right now, considering what's going on. But if it's not for those 2 turnovers, they don't have any points because they weren't able to move the ball on the other side of the 50 at all without them.
Yeah, they had 21 minutes of possession, but
Yeah.
weren't able to do anything. And when you look ahead to the playoffs, which is where Tampa Bay is going to be, yeah, they've got the defense where they can maybe make some moves, but you need a little offense to win.
But like we said in the open, though, the defense has to set the tempo, and it has to keep the offense in the game as they struggle, and that's what's happened. But sooner or later, yeah, your offense has to be a lot better than they've been in this first half.
Well, the defense has been all that here in the first half. And when they get into the playoffs, at some point you're going to get Tampa Bay and St. Louis. At least that's a game I would like to see. The question is, can this Bucs defense do this against a Rams team.
Well, they fly around a lot. They got a lot of speed. And as we said earlier, they put everybody in the right position to make plays. And Mike Allstott finally got in the end zone. He's been stuffed a couple times, but that was just a good job by him and a great block by McLeod, the fullback, springing him to the outside.
So back to the question.
Don't go anywhere. Sit down.
I'm out of here. That's it. No, I want to play this second half. But seriously, give me the Rams, Tampa Bay Bucks scenario. How do you see that?
Well, like I said, they have to be a lot more explosive offensively because the Rams defense is just as good as the Tampa Bay's defense, and the Rams offense is a lot better than Tampa Bay's offense. So that would be the situation. But forget all that. They need to worry about this right now and getting that bye, and that's what they really want.
Chicago Bears come in and really haven't done a whole lot in this first half, and they need to do something, or they're going to be accused of coming out here and not really giving the best effort.
Right.
You hate that if you're a player.
Right. You hate to even hear that kind of talk in the papers, and I know that's not what Dick Jauron has talked with his team all week about, and I know that's not that kind of mentality, but hey, he's not playing the game for some of these guys, and it looks like they're going to stay with McNown. McNown, there was a lot of discussion as to whether or not McNown would even go this week. Yeah, he injured the left side throwing and last week, and that is the side that he has to twist on. He's the left-handed quarterback.
Keep it there.
Right, and there was a question about whether he or Shane Matthews would start today, and McNown recovered well enough to get the start here. And the other guy in the Bears offense who has been huge for him this year is Marcus Robinson. There was some doubt about whether he could play this week. He has just one grab here in the first half for 2 yards.
Meanwhile, on the other side of the ball, a guy we forgot about right there, Jaquez Green. 7 catches. I mean, that is a huge first half.
That's a career high for him. He had 7 for 164 against Kansas City earlier this year. And he has been the main man, the go-to man for Sean King here in the first half.
Now, this first half will be key. First series in the second half will be key for Tampa Bay's defense because they need to, so to speak, slap the Bears upside the head again and say, okay, remember what it was like in the first half? Well, it's still like that, okay? Don't give them any false hope, any false security about coming out and starting to get something going.
Work done in the first half, 11 carries, 44 yards. Mike Allstott, 21 yards on 10 carries. Not a whole lot of offensive production, particularly on the Bears side. Bobby Ingram, who has just been unconscious the last couple of weeks, had 13 grabs last week. And has been shut out here in the first half.
And Ingram has been open. Ingram is a guy who will be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the season, and they're negotiating with him for next year. A guy I think you have to keep because he has been, along with Robinson, the bright spot on the team this year.
Bobby Ingram with 23 catches in the last 2 games, had both Bears touchdowns last week against St. Louis. Shut out here in the first half. There's Glenn Milburn back to receive the Gramatica kickoff to start the second half. Line drive shot from Gramatica goes into the end zone. And that's where Milburn will down it. The Bears will take it 1st and 10 from their own 20 to start the second half. Coming into the game, Bobby Ingram was 9 catches from setting a single-season Bears record. He would have passed Johnny Morris of 1964. Well, you know what? He still needs 8 for the tie and 9 to go ahead.
With the way they're going now, he'll be lucky if he gets 3 by the day's end.
Ingram opens up on the bottom of the screen. Robinson's to the top. Here McNown changing the play. Allen behind a Halleck block picks up 3 off to the left side. Shelton Quarles and Warren Sapp on the tackle.
Warren Sapp made no bones about it. And he said, I quote, hey, let's face it, this weather, when it's cold as hell out here. End of quote. I don't like it. I'm not going to cut any corners about it. But he can't ask for a better day.
No, I mean, looking at possible record temperatures here today in Chicago, 54 at game time as McNown scrambles loose. He'll come up 2 yards shy of the first down. Hardy Nickerson ran him down.
There's a guy you don't hear a whole lot from like you used to, middle linebacker Hardy Nickerson. But he's still as much of a force and he's still as much of a player as he's always been. It's just that he's got people around him now. You remember those years when Hardy was the leading tackler like every single year? Guy went over 200 tackles a couple times, but now he's got Derek Brooks. Then he's got Lynch behind him. He's got Warren Sapp in front of him. He's got other guys around him that can make plays. All those tackles that he used to have to make.
3rd and 2. And now is sacked. Steve White. 2nd sack on the year for Steve White.
Steve White knows as long as Warren Sapp is down inside, he is going to draw single coverage on the outside. And if he gets single coverage, he's got to beat it. And really, he just falls back into this one, and that's okay. Because when you're a D lineman, you take the sacks any way you can get them.
You betcha.
84.
You see the wind picking up here. Sauerbrunn to kick into that wind.
What kind of punch?
It's a liner into the wind, and
you know, Sauerbrunn has had a really rough week here. He came out publicly in the paper and he said, you know, this is the worst place in the NFL to punt because of the weather and all that kind of stuff. And then the guy's sitting in his backyard with his dog and somebody crashes through the back fence and almost runs him over. Bad year.
22 yards on the play, puts Tampa Bay at the 38 of Chicago, where Warren Dunn gets a couple until Jim Flanagan can track him down.
You know, Mike Shula, Tampa Bay Buccaneers offensive coordinator, I think he does a good job of mixing his plays up and keeping a nice mix on the offense. There's Shula right there.
Well, he looks a little disinterested at this point.
It's hard to get a beat, and especially when you have weapons on the team. Like Tampa Bay's got some offensive weapons. It's hard to get a beat on where they're going to go next.
Moore in motion, camps in the backfield, picks up the blitz. They got the screen going to Warwick Dunn. He'll get 3 yards before another Warwick. Holdman gets him down.
How about Warwick's new role? You know, he's doing a little bit more on special teams now, running back on the kickoff. They start him off as the guy back there, the feature guy, and gave up that role, and they went to Allstott as the feature back. But, you know, he never really complains. He kind of takes it all, and the kind of guy you need to have on your team. They'll just go out and pretty much do what you need him to do to help you win.
Surprised Dunn hasn't caught the ball more. Just one catch on the day for 3 yards. 3rd down and 6. King dumps it out to Allstott. Allstott slips short of the 1st down as Jerry Azuma shows up.
So Allstott has become that check down guy that Dunn used to be.
Well, you almost tried to get too fancy here, making a move.
You got to remember, when Allstott plants, that's 250-plus pounds trying to plant. And that field, it's not in great shape. They've got a lot of filler in down there, a lot of sand in some of the holes, but that's a long field goal.
Attempt the field goal here on 4th and 2. Gramatica comes out, going for the 48-yarder, and Chris Hudson for the Bears on the field late. Block. Mike Wells blocks that kick. It'll be Bears ball right there at the 40-yard line as Mike Wells gets the hand up in the middle, comes up with the block. Huge momentum change for the Bears.
Yeah, that ball was kicked kind of low, too. Mike Wells got it, but it was a low kick.
Opposite.
1st and 10 from the 40. Can they get it going? McNown scrambles, dumps it out to Allen. He is stopped immediately. Hardy Nickerson with another defensive play.
If McNown is trying to look to the corners to get something, he's not going to get it today because Barber and Abraham are doing a great job of locking up their guy. And you can see by the time McNown gets to his drop, he's ready to pull the ball down and run with it.
Glenn Milburn checks in at wide receiver as the Bears go to 5. Spread out, 2nd and 5. McNown in the gun. Dumps it outside, complete to Marcus Robinson for a 1st down. Chicago's offense showing some light.
Going back to the previous play, we're talking about the coverage on the outside. And there's Rondé Barber. There's just a straight cover two. He rides this guy out of bounds. And he looked like he did it within the 5-yard rule. So therefore, that receiver can't come in and be the first person to catch the ball. And they got him locked up over here as well.
Same formation for the Bears on 1st and 10.
Blitz.
Now dumps it to Robinson again, and he's open for a first down.
You're starting to see how one play can make the difference. It's just already here, 2 plays, the Bears have come out, and it's no mistake that Robinson has been key in this, because he's the big target. He's not running at full speed because of the quad injury, but whenever the Bears have got anything going ever, it's been because Robinson has been involved.
Robinson lines up to the top. You hear McNown changing the play. Milburn next to him in the backfield. Shoots it outside to Robinson again. 3 catches in a row for Marcus Robinson. Another first down as John Lynch is there with Brian Kelly.
And keeping McNown in the gun, in the shotgun, helps protection. Watch Sapp. Look at that. They shut him down right off the boat, right off the top. He's nowhere near the quarterback. Oh, look at that. Marcus Robinson just runs Rondé Barber completely off the plate. Excuse me, that was Brian Kelly. Just ran him off about 15 yards. He wasn't even in the frame.
They try to draw to Milburn. Milburn hit by Brooks. No gain.
Now, I understand Gary Croton's thinking, the offensive coordinator for the Bears. He's been heating them up with the pass. Now come with the draw, got them spread out. But boy, I don't know if I don't stay with the pass since it's been working so well in that play.
Called it a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. Best drive of the day for Chicago. Robinson wide to the top. He's been the target. But now goes again to Marcus Robinson. Incomplete, they say now. Lobbying from Brian Kelly might have influenced that call.
And you can hear that ball hit his hands. The throw is there. McNown just comes too low with it. Yeah, it's out.
Well, he juggled the one prior to that, too.
Yeah.
See the drives today for the Bears.
This is the best
Nothing
drive
happening
today
until this drive. Spurred on by that block punt. And now they run a screen to Booker. Marty Booker, oh, they got him by the ankle. Gets up to the 21-yard line. Quarles picked him up.
You know, in Chicago senses that they are still in this game and can win this game because they're not going to go for that.
So they bring on Jarrett Holmes to attempt his first field goal, which I think is a good move with this kind of time in the game. Get on the board. Into the wind, Jarrett Holmes, his first NFL kick for a field goal, and he's good.
Boy, the wind tried to get him. He played the wind nice.
39 yards for Jarrett Holmes. Puts the Bears on the board. And that blocked field goal by Wells changed the complexion. Holmes turns it into points. Chicago drive covering 39 yards after Wells blocks the field goal. Jarrett Holmes makes his first NFL field goal, a 39-yarder. Get the Bears back in this. They're on the board. They trail by 7.
And for the first time today, the Bear fans were really into the game also.
Ball blows off the tee as Jarrett Holmes will set it back on. You know, the Bears cut Chris Boniel earlier this week, and they have had kicker problems all year long, having missed 15 kicks. That's the most in the NFL, and Holmes is the 4th player with a field goal attempt for the Bears. Washington leads the NFL all time. This is not a good thing, by the way, with 5.
But if they have a kicker this year, this team may be fighting for a playoff.
You're right.
Today.
Short kickoff done at the 17. Done. Brought down by Ty Halleck at the 45 after an 18-yard return, and Tampa Bay will look to answer when we come back. particularly for early January. It just got better for the Bears. They closed to within a touchdown. Tampa Bay 1st and 10 from the 35. King completes it to Green. Jaquez Green now with a career-high 8 catches. This one for 20 yards. Next week on Fox, the postseason kicks off with the NFC wildcard game. Be there as the last standing teams in the NFC will clash as the road to the NFC Championship game begins. Right here on Fox, coverage will begin with a pregame show. Check your local listings for the game and the time. There's a lot going on today. We don't quite know yet who will be in that wild card battle.
Give me a tiger, tiger.
Hey, this is where All-Star picks up a few. This is where it's going to be for Tampa Bay. And when I alluded to this earlier, sooner or later, Sean King's got to throw the ball down the field. Now, you have a corner named Jerry Azuma for the Bears, who's actually a converted running back. He played running back in college. This is his first year ever playing corner. There's a lot going on in his head, folks. He's done a pretty good job, but you can see the Bears are starting to pick on that.
Well, he asked him what the hardest thing was. He said first he had to learn how to backpedal.
That can be difficult.
Wasn't used to running backwards as Allstott runs forward through a tackle down to the 25. And Jerry Azuma ends up making that tackle. Allstott rips off 11 and moves the chains for the Bucs.
There's that second wave Allstott's in that I was talking about. If you can get him into that level of the field, you have a chance. Now, earlier in the first half, he was tackled right there. Now he's breaking that tackle. And as long as your safeties are coming up and corners are coming up making tackles, you're going to have a long, hard day in the defense.
First down and 10. Empty backfield for King. Throws it out quick, and it's dropped this time by Green.
Big pass intended for Green was dropped. Incomplete. The coverage coming down. Second and 10 at the 20.
We joked about King earlier, talking about yesterday the cold weather and everything.
He's never seen snow.
That's right.
He's in no hurry either.
Born and raised in St. Petersburg, Florida, so his snow days are quite few to say the least.
Second down and 10 more in motion. He camps in the backfield, and they'll run it to Allstott. And he is tripped up by Robinson. He'll fall forward for 1.
I think this series has been good for the Bucs because the Bears come after a huge block field goal. They go down, they get points, the whole momentum changes. But you see Tampa Bay's answer. And that's important because now they got to answer on this big third down here.
The Bucs went to the air a little bit more at the start of this drive to loosen things up. Face now with a third down and 9. King will go to the shotgun.
Looked like Jerry
wants the right tackle.
Moved.
I think he got an early start.
Unless he was drawn.
Sean King talked about this. The problem on the road when it's loud is getting that snap count.
Prior to the snap, ball start, 71, offense.
Indeed, Jerry wants.
Remains third down.
And what that does is it makes it harder to convert this, obviously, but it takes you out of field goal range because now Tony Dungy, if he misses this, he's got to think about letting Gramatica try another. And knowing the long distance one before just got rejected.
Third and 14.
And he's going to go to the sideline.
King will use his first time out here of the second half as the play clock was running down on him. He'll take the timeout. Important down for Tampa Bay as they lead the Bears 10-3 with 3:50 left in the third. 14 to go.
Yeah, they might try to throw another one on Jerry Azuma. They've had luck on that side, that right side.
Jaquez Green up top there, working on Azuma. They come the other way with it. Complete to Darnell McDonald. McDonald is tackled, but he gets the first down.
What an effort. That's all McDonald. That's why they talk about defensive back making tackles in the open field. Hey, this is nothing but a little cue in, cue out. Okay, you break down, make the tackle. That's where you have to give a few yards to gain some yards down the field. Cousins doesn't give anything. He reaches, he gets a wristband. McDonald makes a great lunge at the end, and they move the chains. That's a huge play for the Bucks.
And
did they burn another one?
Yeah, Sean King pointing to his ear said he couldn't hear the call.
Sounds like he can't, something's not right with the device. Maybe he can't hear it. It's not all that loud here.
Goes over to talk to Clyde Christensen, the quarterback coach. But that reception for McDonald, the biggest in his career, is the rookie out of Kansas State. Just 9 grabs on the year, but this one critical for Tony Dungy's Tampa Bay Bucks. And you see the pass distribution, most of it has been Jaquez Green.
And if I'm Tony Dungy, in the back of my head, I'm thinking, let's score here so those 2 timeouts don't come back to haunt me later on.
First down and 10 from the 14. Allstott hitting the backfield by Wells.
Allstott on first down has not worked today. They've had to set Allstott up with the pass game on first down. And this is the red area, the red zone once again, where they've struggled. And I think they have to go back to that's where they've had their success.
Talking to Ricardo McDonald, Bears linebacker, you know, we have a pretty good beat on what Tampa Bay is going to do. There are some very solid tendencies, and Allstott on first down is one of those. Second and 10, Allstott in motion. King to throw.
Got the corner.
Into the end zone. Overthrown, looking for Green.
Nice coverage there by Azuma. Azuma forced that ball to be pushed up the field, and there's a Buccaneer down. Looks like Paul Gruber.
He's trying to get back up.
Green's going to end up to the corner right here. Look at Azuma's position. That's what you call hip pocket. He's right in his hip pocket, so it has to be a perfect throw, and he just ran Green out of room. That's the starting left tackle, Paul Gruber. Seems like Paul Gruber has been there forever. 182 games at left tackle.
183rd start today he made, and 12-year veteran out of Wisconsin. #1 draft pick way back in 1988.
And that's key because that is the left side. That is, of course, Sean King's blind side. That is where you want your protector, your best protector. Somebody fell on his ankle or knee at the bottom. One of the other Bears fell on it late.
Looking at his right knee, and he'll go out for at least one play, Will Gruber, and that will put Pearson in.
The Bears haven't been a good enough blitz team to really take advantage of that. Even when they've tried to blitz their safeties and corners, that's not what they are.
Boy,
This is not good. This is not good going into the playoffs. You're looking at this as a Tampa Bay Buccaneer pick. Especially when you think about some of the guys that you might see on that left side.
Yeah, you want to get through this healthy. Does Tampa Bay? They've already lost Brad Culpepper out of this game with the sprained foot, but he's been dealing with that for quite a while. And now Paul Gruber requiring help off the field.
Oh, boy.
That there is the loneliest ride you can take.
Fortunately, I didn't have to take that ride, boy.
Well, you know what? I hurt my knee. In fact, it ended my career, and I refused to get on the cart. I actually walked off the field with help, then got on the cart and took that lonely ride. Let me tell you, it's a lonely ride. Right now, let's go for a game break. checking in with JB. NFL update, JB.
Ray and Ron, what we'll see is Dorsey Levens helping the Packers look for that victory to get into the playoffs. Second touchdown run by Levens on the day. Green Bay up 21-3 in the third. Back to Ray Bentley and Ron Pitts.
All right, JB.
Too late for them Packers?
Yeah. Plus, they got to get their locker room together. They got a lot of knick-knack stuff going on.
Ninth play of the drive for the Bucks. 3rd and 10. King from the gun. Under the gun. Now throws it in the end zone, up for grab. Threw it away. Incomplete as Bert Emanuel. Couldn't get to it. Clyde Simmons with pressure.
That's an area that needs to get fixed for Tampa Bay coming into the playoffs. Look for Emanuel inside. Nice job over the top there by Tony Parrish. He slips coming back. Even if he doesn't slip, I don't know if King can get enough on the ball with the heat he had to get it to him.
I think he threw it away. That'll bring on Martin Gramatica for a 33-yarder. He was good from 25. His last one from 48 was blocked. He's back to Automatica.
Yeah.
The Bears 3.
He gets that field goal back that the Bears got on the previous block field goal, and the Buccaneers go up 13-10.
The key thing there is that they got points on the board in spite of a nice drive. They got shut down late with an injury, and of course the injury and a penalty. They did a nice job of getting something on the board just to make it a little bit harder for the Bears.
Well, the new millennium has arrived, but before we ring out the old and bring in the new, there is some unfinished business left over from last century. Next week, who will be there? Who is Y2K ready? All eyes are focused on the NFC title as the playoffs are upon us. It all begins next Sunday with the NFC wildcard game right here on Fox. Check your local listings for the game and time in your area. A lot of variations depending on what happens here in this final weekend. Minnesota up 17-10 over Detroit, so I'm told. Dallas, who controls their own wild card destiny, will play later on against the Giants. Edgar Bennett from the 11. Bennett to the 30. AFC West, there's a battle going for who's going to win the division title. Could be Seattle, could be Kansas City, and well, it's been that kind of year, you know, and when it's on the line, teams have been losing.
And the best thing about that, I think Miami is finally in the best position they've been all year. If one of those two teams loses, Seattle or Kansas City, they're in the playoffs.
And if both lose,
that's a great deal for Dan Marino, finally.
If they both lose, Seattle would win that title in the West. James Allen up to the 40-yard line, ran out by John Lynch.
Lynch knocked 5 people over on the sideline. You gotta understand, Lynch he brings it now. 6'2", 220. He's like having a linebacker in your secondary that's fast enough to run around and make plays on the ball. So knocked James into the stick holder, who knocked into another guy who knocked over the bench in the water. That's making an impact.
Amazingly, John Lynch was a quarterback for a couple of years in college at Stanford. Allen tries it again, gets back to the line of scrimmage, no more.
I'm surprised the Bears haven't tried more bootlegs, more misdirection plays, knowing how fast the Bucs are on defense. And you saw McNown there come with the stretch play, the handoff. I wouldn't be surprised if I saw him fake that and come back around the outside and try to take advantage of Tampa Bay's over pursuit.
2nd and 9, empty backfield. McNown goes to the gun. Tips it and it's complete to Booker. Gain of 13 on the play, a first down.
You know, Ray, if there's any positive part or upside to this team, it's the receiver. There's Booker right there. He's just going to work outside. He's going to find the hole. He's going to find the hole in the zone. The linebacker forgets about him. The corner comes up. He needs to stay back. But that's the bright spot. When you have 3 quarterbacks that throw over 1,000 yards, something is working well in your receiving corps.
Booker with 4 grabs on the day, tied with Robinson to lead the Bears. As McNown gets it out to Marcus Robinson. Tightropes the sidelines down to the 28-yard line. Donnie Abraham forced him out. Robinson picks up 12.
Another thing you'll see is a big size mismatch. Robinson 6'4", 215 going up against Donnie Abraham 5'10". But before you can throw it, you got to be able to handle pressure one way or the other. They don't handle it. Cade just gets out of there. And that's the advantage of having a quarterback that's mobile, that can move around. But these receivers are all big. They're all strong. They can all go up and get the football. This is a screen formation in the past.
And they run that screen as Bobby Ingram makes his first grab of the day up to the 20. And that brings us to the end of the third quarter with a score. Tampa Bay 13, Chicago 3, but the Bears are driving. We'll be back for the start of that fourth quarter after a word from your local Fox station. Chicago, Gary Croton, offensive coordinator, up in the box. Usually he's down on the sidelines. I could swear we had him down there earlier.
Yeah, we did have
At some point.
That's right.
He came upstairs. He wasn't getting what he wanted.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a better look at what the Bucs are doing, or better line of sight. As some coordinators feel more comfortable upstairs, some we've seen a lot lately go downstairs so they can talk to their guys.
Second down and short. Bears driving. McNown hands it off to Allen, who breaks a tackle and gets the first down.
That's a tough first down by James Allen, because it looked like he was met right there in the hole by Nickerson. And he shoves off the tackle and goes and gets the first down.
First and 10 for the Bears at the Buccaneers.
The Bears drive stays alive. 7th play of this drive.
Let's see McNown, that screen formation. He had to check out of it.
First time in the red zone for Chicago today, and it's tipped by Warren Sapp, incomplete.
Great play, Warren Sapp talking. No, not over here. Even when Sapp doesn't get to the quarterback, he still finds a way to disrupt.
Second and 10 at the 16.
Look at that. They tried to cut him. And, he's got one of those bodies, Ray, that you can't cut it.
Yeah, it's like trying to cut a fire plug.
Yeah, right. It's like trying to cut the fridge. That was one of the things about the fridge. William Refrigerator Perry, he was so big and he was so round that when you cut him, he would just bounce back up.
Second down and 10. Quick pass incomplete, intended for Wet Knight.
I don't think Wet Knight has caught a ball.
Yeah, they caught one earlier in the first quarter.
Yeah, well, he's dropped 2 now. And I know that ball's behind him, but every now and then, and this has been a problem with the Bears also, they need a guy to make a play. Make a one-handed grab. Do something to keep the chains moving. The quarterback can't always make perfect throws. That ball's got to be caught.
And the ball needs to be reset. The Bears 0 for 7 on third down conversions, facing third down and 10. See the wind picking up here in Chicago.
And McNown's changing the play. It's interesting to watch the Tampa Bay defense.
McNown tracked down. Rondé Barber on the blitz got him.
I don't know if McNown ever got the right play called. They had some confusion down there. And they had to stop and re-spot the ball, reset the ball, but it doesn't look like they were ever really set and ready to go with a play.
So with 13:40 left, the Bears are going to try and kick a field goal to pull within 7. Jared Holmes to attempt from 31 yards. Made his first one from 39, and Holmes stays perfect. Slides it right inside the right upright, and the Bears with 13:24 left, pulled to within 7 points. Chicago Bears working their way back into this game, trailing 13-6 now after the second consecutive possession with points. Jauron Holmes, perfect on the day in field goals, kicks it to Warwick Dunn. Dunn down at the 20-yard line. Warwick Holdman with the special teams play along with Wet Knight. A gain of return of 17 as Sean King leads the Buccaneers back onto the field.
The Bucs have to still try to be aggressive, and I think that throwing on first down has been good for them and all that. But what they have to safeguard against is that one big turnover, because you can feel the Bears are kind of sitting back and waiting for that. As we look at the Bucs owner,
Malcolm Glazer, his son to the left of him, looking for that first championship since 1981 on the Bucs, and Warwick Dunn breaks it out. 33 yards by Dunn.
We got all choked up.
Choked me to death.
And Dunn has been better on first down running than Allstott has today. This is who they have it prepared for. And you look at how many guys, as Allstott leads up in there, how many guys can go after first contact? You see, there's 3 guys that touches them. Now, that's bad tackling, yeah. But Warwick Dunn's a guy that can make you tackle bad, too.
Bears missing linebacker Barry Minter, who went out earlier in the game with an injury. And Dunn will take it for 3 yards. Ryan Robinson on the bottom of the pile.
The people were on Warwick early in the year because they felt that he was being a little too impatient with the run, trying to bounce everything outside, maybe a little too fast. This is a Warwick Dunn fan.
You betcha.
He wears that jersey proud. But, you know, today he is showing that he can be tough inside and stay patient and then break it outside. But it goes back to a guy's got to run how he's comfortable.
King to the gun. Dumps it underneath, complete to Green. Green very close to the first down. Terry Cousins lassos it.
I would be surprised if Green had a 15-catch day.
Got 9 already.
Yeah, because he's in that zone. I mean, the Bears can't do a lot defensively in the secondary, and he's finding all the open holes. And then Sean King knows that he knows how to get open today.
Brings up a 3rd down and 1 for Tampa Bay. McLeod and Allstott in the backfield. More in motion. Mike Allstott bounces it outside. Here goes Allstott. All the way inside the 20 before Chris Hudson can get him a gain of 20 for Mike Allstott.
You see, Hudson had to make a business decision there.
Yeah, he did.
Here you go. You got it. Just a 250-plus pounds Mike Allstott, closer to 260 running. Now you got to make a decision. Do I want to chest him up and risk the chance of spending the night in the local hospital, or do I just go low and play another down? That was an executive board decision.
Rather easy one to make, I believe. So the Bucs are driving it again, answering the second Bears field goal. 1st and 10 from inside the 20 at the 18. King just got it off. Warwick Dunn smacked in the backfield.
That looked like Flanagan.
Yes, it was.
You know how Warren Sapp creates some things that Culpepper does. Well, Wells creates some things for Flanagan. Now, that's actually a double team, and he fights through it. He just fought through and beat a double team and makes the play in the backfield. Those are great plays. Those are plays that next year this defense has to find guys that can make those plays consistent.
Loss of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 12. Draw. Done. Nothing.
I sense that the Bucs are getting very conservative when they get into the red zone now, just because they've had the turnover and they've had some of the bad luck. You see Mike Schuler pull the reins in a little bit there. Now they'll settle. They may take a shot at the end zone here But I think more than anything, Tony Dungy wants a chance to get points. Look at Greg Bloss, the defensive coordinator. There's Mike Shula, the offensive coordinator.
3rd and 10. Jaquez Green at the top of the screen. That's who they've been going to. They do again. Green with a catch and the first down. Sean Harris got him, but they picked up 15.
It's almost like the Bears don't have any awareness of where the first down marker is. It's right up here. Just don't back up behind that. Knowing that if the guy catches the ball, he's got the first. So that's a good job of Green of once again pushing above the marker and then making your break on the play. When a guy catches the ball in front of the first down marker.
10th catch of the day for Jaquez Green, 113 yards. All stops. Stopped at the 6. Flanagan again.
Allstott and Rico McDonald got a little.
Rico will mix it up with you, as you know.
That's your guy, that's why. He was your rookie in Cincinnati, wasn't he?
Yes, he was.
That's
I
not
tell you what, not a finer rookie could be had. Guy carried my helmet, he carried my books.
No, but he didn't do that anymore.
He got the chicken for the plane ride, and he took care of all the business. You know, like a rookie should.
And then you always put him back in his rookie shoes every time we see him.
Well, I take credit for everything that he's ever done as well.
That's warm.
2nd down and goal. King to the end zone. Touchdown, Moore.
Don't take credit for that.
Give that to Dave Moore and also to Sean King for zipping that ball in there.
And Moore got open even though he was held by Rico McDonald coming off the ball.
That had to be a perfect pass.
It was. Watch here. You're going to lose it, but Rico McDonald lost Moore inside. That was a nice drive.
5th touchdown of the year for Dave Moore. Puts Tampa Bay in control with 7:33 left. Gramatica makes the extra point, and it is now Tampa Bay 20, Chicago 6.
And the difference is I think Tampa Bay is putting together drives now. They were struggling with that in the first half. Now they're putting them together, going down, and most importantly, not just getting points, getting 6 points.
Tampa Bay scoring drive.
Accept congratulations. A 9-play, 80-yard scoring drive for Tampa Bay. And lots of rushing yards on that drive. Tampa Bay did it on the ground.
Yeah, I always wondered why they got on the phone after they scored. You see a guy score, he gets on the phone. Usually you get on the phone when you did something wrong, because they want to know, what the heck did you just do?
That's what I tried to get off that phone, you know. Yeah, no,
you don't mind getting on the phone when you've done something
that's
good.
where you go over there and you can initiate the call. You get him on there. Hey, did you see that one, Coach?
You initiate the call. And when you get in trouble and you have to get on the phone, you call collect up to the booth.
Yes. Try to make those as brief as possible.
The worst is when I ask you what happened.
See Dave Moore.
Dave Moore's come a long way from Sam Weiss using him as the Moore back, as he used to be.
Well, he started out with Miami. He was on their practice squad back in '92. Worked his way up to the starting tight end for Tampa Bay. Scores his 5th touchdown of the year, and the Bucs will kick it off. Gramatica into the win. Milburn all the way up to the 23. Milburn dips in and then back out. Creates some room. Stopped at the 37-yard line by Singleton. 15-yard return for Glenn Milburn. Chicago will try to get it back. McNown on first down. Out of the gun, hooks up with Ryan Wetnight for a gain of 8 yards. Derek Brooks makes the tackle. Right now, let's go for a game break. Here's JB.
Ray and Ron, don't tell me these guys don't know what they have to do. Joris C. Levens, what does he do? His 3rd touchdown round today. Green Bay 35-10 over Arizona, while the Panthers, boy, they know they have to run the scoreboard up as well. Back to Ray and Ron.
Thank you, JB. On 2nd and short, Cade McNown picks up a first down into Bucs territory to the 3-yard line as the Bears refuse to go away. Tampa Bay in control here, a 2-touchdown lead. 6:46 left. Tampa Bay with everything at stake here today, Ron. A win and they get the NFC Central title, their first in 18 years. They also clinch the bye, the home field advantage for at least the divisional playoff game.
Right.
And it's all good for them, but I tell you, these Bears aren't going away. McNown pulls it down. Now he dumps it out to Allen. Allen hit by John Lynch up to the 35-yard line, 8 more yards.
And also, too, Monty Kiffin is the defensive coordinator for the Bucs. He's backed his guys off here. They're up 26. They're up pretty comfortable. 6 minutes in running. You want to avoid the big score right now. That's number one. They're going to give them the dink and dunk and the bleeders. They want to just get off the field if they can with any scores, but if they're going to allow a score, make it a slow one, use up some time, and then put their offense back on the field, and you know you're going to see 2 tight ends and Mike all stop.
James Allen,
great play there.
hit by Nickerson. He'll lose yardage.
You know, something else that this Bucs team did in the offense.
Central on Fox. Chris Dolman standing to acknowledge to go, not because of us, but because they announced it to the crowd. Right now, for an update, let's return to James Brown in Los Angeles.
Pat, John, Green Bay fully mindful they need as many points as possible. Boy, they're heading in that direction. Dorsey Levin's 3rd touchdown run of the day.
0 for 8 on 3rd down. Now 0 for 9 incomplete. Looking for Marty Booker.
Losing to the Jets. Wow. In there to take it back to Pat and John.
Minnesota 17, Detroit 10. Both these teams will be in the playoffs. Here's Jeff Jauron. Come on.
All-star run. You'll see some more of that when they get back on the field, I'm sure.
Fourth and 4. McNown. He's got it if he goes for it on the run, and he gets the first down. John Lynch makes the stop.
Yeah, Lynch was going to come down and blow him up, but he gave Lynch just enough of a little hip shake to keep him off balance. Well, sometimes things go good when they go bad or start off bad. Drops the ball. He's forced to run. Who knows what would happen if he stayed in the pocket? Might have threw an interception.
Interception, right. Instead,
might have been the best thing that ever happened to him.
He runs and gets that first down, does McNown. 1st and 10 at the 31. McNown dumps it out and complete to Ryan Wetnight.
You can see a little McNown's moving back and forth, and he's got a little of that Brett Favre in him. That's one of the things that the Bears wanted out of their quarterback. You know, he's got a long ways to go in terms of development, but every now and then you'll see something pop out that's good.
And the Bears aren't quite in a hurry-up mode, but they are picking the tempo up a little bit with just over 4 minutes left. 2nd and 1. Dropped by Wetnight. John Lynch makes the play.
The coverage to Lynch. The Bears have 3rd and 1.
You can kind of feel, look at the Buccaneers sidelines, you can kind of feel them saying, hey, get off the field and the game's ours. Shut them down, get off the field, we can go into our run mode and the game is ours.
Not only would the game be theirs, but
a whole lot more.
Championship, a bye in the playoffs, and they'll even get some new hardware for the Bucs facility. McNown bounces it off the umpire, incomplete, bring up another 4th down, intended for James Allen. I was talking about that hardware. We were talking with the Buccaneers, Brad Culpepper, and he says, you know, we've got 2 old, rusty
nasty-looking plaques.
Signs, one from 79, one from 81, championship plaques in the facility. They're looking to put something nice and new up on that wall.
That's right.
There's the umpire, Ed Kuchart. Ed Kuchart making the, give him a pass broken up, and the Bucs stats sheet, and now there's a flag down.
Did they have lingering? They have too many men in the huddle? I don't know what happened there.
Offense, illegal substitution, 12 men in the huddle. A 5-yard penalty, remains 4th down.
Boy, that's a heck of a rule to get caught on a 4th and 1. They get caught for lingering. You're not allowed to have more than 11 in the huddle at any one time. It's a form of an illegal substitution. But the Bears are arguing that that wasn't the case. Oh, Ingram just kind of walked off the sideline, I guess.
Now he's going to go argue.
Which he can't do. He's got to come all the way inside the numbers and then walk back out.
Yeah, he's got to get in there inside the numbers. Now, that was the second penalty of the day on Chicago, but it makes it 4th down and 6. And now Tampa Bay takes a timeout.
Well, that was strange.
And Tampa Bay is totally out of timeouts here in the second half.
This looks like Ingram coming off, okay? But then they realize they don't have 11 on, but he stops. He can do that.
Yeah, well, remember the old sleeper play where you act like you're going out of bounds and then line up on the end? We're looking for the sleeper. We'll be back in just a moment. 1 and 6 for Cade McNown and the Bears. Their last gasp with 3:52 left. McNown hit as he throws, incomplete. John Lynch. I don't know if it was intended to Lynch or not, but let the celebration begin for Tampa Bay.
That was as intended for Lynch as it was anybody in a dark blue jersey. Let's put it like that.
Well, it had great pressure on Cade McNown.
And really, they got worked on that play before. I don't understand that one at all. Because here's the pressure. As always, when you can get pressure with just 4 guys like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers can do, that makes you a great defense. You know, we can talk about Lynch and we can talk about the linebackers, but the front 4 dominate, and they set the pace, the tempo for everybody else on that defense, too.
Chidi Ahanotu is the man who's had the hit on McNown as Tampa Bay goes into that run mode with Allstott. He'll pick up a couple of yards.
And as always, Allstott on first down hasn't been much today.
And the Bears use a timeout. They have 2 left.
You know a guy who's been good for this team, for the Bucs today, Stephen White, excuse me, number 94. He had some big plays earlier, been around the quarterback.
Broke up a couple of screen plays. Playing outstanding, and the Bucs with the win here will get that bye week of the first round of the playoffs, and that'll give them some time to get healthy as they have lost a couple of key men along that front line. Culpepper on that defensive line, and Gruber, the offensive left tackle.
These injuries really won't matter because they won't be in the playoff picture, but
they got a long time to heal.
For Tampa Bay, those 2 guys, that does matter. Especially Gruber. Now, there are no real big beasts as far as those right ends that they're going to see in the playoffs, but still, you want your left tackle situation as solid as any position on the field.
Brought down by Corey Samuel.
Allstott picks up another yard, and the Bears burn their second timeout.
There was a game of 1 in the play.
And the second longest drought is over. The Buccaneers, their last division title came in 1981. So the Rams won their division, so that one's over. The Colts won their division, that one's over.
Seahawks still got one going.
Seahawks may have won it as well, so the Cardinals are all alone on that deal.
Cardinals might be all alone for a while, too. They had quite a disappointment out there this year. Jake Plummer didn't really show up. Tony Nathan there, shooting his stuff a little bit with Warren Sapp.
3rd and 7. The Bears can stop the clock one more time. King hands to Allstott. Mike Allstott picking his way up to the 34-yard line.
Bears are going to get the ball back.
Bears will take that final timeout. The race in the West. See Oakland ahead of Kansas City, 35-31. And the Jets over Seattle. And both teams with a chance to go out there and grab that thing aren't doing it.
That's why I said that was the best deal Miami's had all year. All they had to do is sit back. It didn't matter what they did.
Yeah, no, if these scores stay, if both teams lose, then Seattle would win the West by virtue of their 2 wins over the Chiefs. And Miami, doing nothing, well, actually they did do something. They had a nice start to the season. They will make the playoffs based on the outcome of those 2 games. 4th down and 2. Royals will punt again. A line drive kick into the wind. Milburn at the 30.
The coverage units from the Bucs have been great all day.
That's McLaughlin who makes that special teams play, a 35-yard punt, a 7-yard return. The Bears will get another shot. But right now I'd like to thank our crew this year on cameras. Michael Ratuz and Win Bernfeld have done an excellent job. Our audio guys, Paul Kelly, PK. We have Gene Richards, videotape Mike Norris and Randy Carr. Video room, Mark Loffer. Graphics, Joe Flynn, doing a wonderful job. Technical director, Rick Tugman. And the old guy, our technical producer, Dan Rotante. Wonderful job all year, fellas.
I don't think he got the second foot down.
I think Marty Booker got just 1 foot in. And the officials agree with me.
No, I don't think McNown fully has these big receivers gauged. You know, how fast they're actually running. Because you see too many balls just out of bounds.
Rough day for Cade McNown. 16 of 32 for 136 yards. 1 interception. This one knocked away by Barber.
And look at that pressure. That's the front four I'm talking about. It just looks like a white wall of shirts just coming up the field and jumping all over Cade McNown. Warren Sapp, he actually lost some weight this year. He was so upset about the way things went last year. Felt he didn't play his best football. And he was bent on coming back and showing that he was a great football player.
McNown throws it outside, and it's intercepted, now dropped. Boy, Abraham almost had his second pick of the day, but he couldn't hang on to it.
That's a case where they get to fighting over the football.
Yeah, or him and Robinson both wanted it.
I've been there. Hey, those marshmallows go up like that. You got to get your stats going. This is the last game of the season. You might have an incentive in the contract that's worth a couple grand here and there.
There are 4 minutes left in the Minnesota-Detroit game. Time permitting, we will send you up to Minnesota for the finish of that game. 4th and 10 here, and the Bears will go for it. McNown with pressure. Throws downfield, incomplete. Clock stops with 2:56 left. The Bears have no more timeouts, and they have to hand it over on downs to Tampa Bay.
Ray, I think it's going to be a real interesting playoff series because the Rams, they've had the great year, and they will have home field, and they'll be at home, for all their games. But I think it's going to be a team like a Tampa Bay, somebody who maybe has started off not real great, but is playing great football later on, that's got a good defense, a great defense that can go down there and upset them. That's what it's going to take. And I also think it's going to take somebody who's got a quarterback who's playing well. It's going to be loud, the communication, all that stuff's going to be a problem.
All stop for a couple up the middle, but let's look at the NFC playoff picture as it starts to come into better view. We give Tampa Bay the win here today, so they would get the number 2 seed, and they would have that first week of the playoffs off with a bye, and then Washington would win the East. Minnesota winning, they would go to 10-6. Now, if Dallas wins later on today, they would actually move into the number 5 seed ahead of Detroit if Detroit loses to Minnesota. Now, if Detroit wins that game, they'll keep that number 4 seed.
And, of course, also the flip side of what I'm talking about is that, you know, in that first game, I think Tampa Bay is going to see somebody comparable to them that can beat them, that's going to be very good, someone who struggled early but is playing great football down the home stretch.
That takes us to the 2-minute warning here in Chicago, where the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are going to win that Central Division title. They have a 20-6 lead over Chicago. Malcolm Glazier, a happy man on the sideline. Allstott trips up, no gain on the play. If the Bears can't stop the clock anymore, right now let's head up to Minnesota, see what's going on between Detroit and the Vikings.
Ray and Ron, it's nonstop in Detroit as well. Gus Farrat in for the injured Charlie Batch. What does he do? He finds Johnny Morton at the back of the end zone. It is now 24-17 Minnesota. Time permitting, we'll take you there. Back to Ray and Ron.
Right you are, JB. As soon as this one's over, if we have a chance, we will send you up to Minnesota to see the conclusion of that game. Fourth down, Allstott loses yardage. The clock stops with 1:11 left. Chicago Bears will get one more shot on offense.
Yet one more shot at this thing.
With no timeouts and needing to score a couple of touchdowns to try and force overtime. Unlikely.
I think it's been such a tribute to Tony Dungy, you know, for sticking with what he believes in and doing it his way. When the team was 3-4, there was a lot of finger pointing going on. You know how that goes. Everybody wants that, wants the ship turned around and going the right direction. He's stuck with what he believes in, and that thing is turned around, and they're heading in the right direction.
Marcus Robinson turns around and heads in the right direction. 30 yards on the play, the biggest play of the day for the Bears.
I think the defense, they kind of sat on the sidelines there kind of thinking, you know, let's get ready to put the celebration hats on. You can see that's exactly what Tony's thinking, too. And I don't think they realized they had to go back out there. They weren't counting on that.
Yeah, sometimes you get guys over there and they're taking tape off.
Oh, yeah, get your stuff up, spats are off, shoulder pads unhitched.
Wait a minute.
Well, you know what, defense.
There's a flag down on this one. Ingram makes the catch. Chicago trying to finish on a high note here.
You know, it's key. One advantage, a big advantage for Tampa Bay of having this bye week.
Defense, number 78, lined up in the neutral zone. Penalties decline.
Big advantage of having that bye week. This will give him a chance to diagnose Paul Gruber and see exactly what he's got. You don't know. I mean, he may have a chance to come back with that week off.
Strained a knee earlier in the game, did Gruber.
Same with Culpepper. He needs that rest.
Well, I don't know if we're going to get out of this one too quick here. Don't rule him out yet. Cade McNown hits Robinson again. He's inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. The clock hits the 30-second mark.
And Chicago can't stop it.
They can stop it by downing it, blocking the ball, and that's what McNown does. He double clutched on the old clock move.
That was very close to becoming a incomplete pass.
Or a lateral, a backward pass.
Or a fumble lateral, yeah.
Confusion at the end. Today's game is being produced by Pete Macheska, directed by Michael Frank. The associate director is Barry Landis. The broadcast associate, Eric Billigmeyer. Technical producer, Dan Rotante. Studio show produced by Scott Eckerson, directed by Bob Levy. The associate director, Jennifer Love. Phil Brown, the senior producer of Fox Sports. Ed Gorn and David Hill, the executive producers. As it's incomplete on third, intended for Marcus Robinson. Stops the clock with 18 seconds left. Fourth down, Bears.
Yeah, we were just talking, Ray. Bears need a quick score here and then hope for an onside kick. That's a lot that's got to happen with no timeout.
That's thin. Yeah, there is still a chance.
Yeah.
But it's a thin one. Incomplete, and now it's over. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are the 1999 NFC Central Division champions. 1981, you have to
and I think they're going to break out the celebration hats,
the
championship hats.
And they'll have something nice, a nice new plaque for the wall back home.
That's right. Brad Culper will be happy.
There they
and
go.
you know the amazing thing about it is the weather. They brought the weather up here with them.
Very nice.
They almost hit a record for warm temperatures today. There's a couple degrees below it. Saying earlier, Joe Marciano, the special teams coach, he's getting
Quarles
beat
hit
up
him
on.
Usually you get the Gatorade dumped on you. Quarles hit him in the back of the head with the Gatorade bottle.
Monty Kiffin and Warren Sapp.
A new celebration. Final snap of the game, and Sean King runs his record to 4-5 as the starting quarterback for Tampa Bay. They finished the regular season 11-5. They get a bye in the first round of the playoffs. They have the second best record in the NFC. And they win today 20-6. Tony Dungy's team over Chicago. Thank everybody for watching today. Ray Bentley along with Ron Pitts saying so long from Soldier Field in Chicago. The final score, Tampa Bay 20, Chicago 6. We have bonus coverage coming up. Detroit and